Hey there YouTube, Leapmaster again, bringing you another video review. Today I'll be taking a look at the Figurized Standard Frieza Final Form from Dragon Ball Z. And this is a great little kit. I don't think there's a Figurized version of this, so this is pretty much the only way you're going to get a Frieza. Now then, in terms of plastic colors, he comes pre-molded in the little Frieza gray, that is his skin tone, and this really nice dark purple for the orbs on his body. He also has some white and red in his eyes for plastic colors. Really love that they're doing that instead of stickers. It looks really good and it works really well. He's got a few stickers on him. There's the toenails on his feet. And that's it. Now then, for his actual sculpting, it's really nice. At first, the obvious joints bothered me for a little bit, but I got over it, and they actually don't look that bad now that I look at it no longer. But he's got really great sculpting all along his entire body here. All the muscle that you see here and all the creasing on his tail, it's all fantastic. And given that the head has to be multiple parts, they got a really nice rounded surface with very minimal panel lining going on. And I love it. The part separation and the actual engineering for these Dragon Ball Z kits is out of the park. It's fantastic. Bandai's really pulling out all the stops with these kits. Now then, for his articulation, it's really good. His head is on a ball joint at the base, so you can get a little bit of tilt action, which actually looks really good. I like the tilt. He can rotate it freely. He can't really look up all that much, which is a shame. He can look down a little bit. He's got a base joint right there at the base of the neck, so he can move up and down a little bit of chicken action. But not as much articulation out of the neck as I would like. He also has the swing out joint in his arm, similar to Goku. But this one has a ball joint right here, so you can move it back, move it forward, up and down at that ball joint, in and out at the hinge joint there. Rotation, bicep swivel, double jointed elbow, very nice, ball jointed wrist. His torso is on a ball joint. A lot of good movement there. Not as big of an ab crunch as I'd like, but it's fine. Ball jointed waist right there. Lots of good free movement right there. His hips are on the figure art style pull down joint, so you can pull him down and he can kick upwards really nice and high. Kick outwards pretty decently. And he has a thigh swivel. He has a double jointed knee. You kind of have to get the first part of the knee going before the second part to get most of the use out of that knee. He has a joint in the toe and the foot that can go down and up, and he does have a pivot. And his tail is sectioned into 3 parts. He can rotate right here, rotate right here. I thought that part was sectioned too, and rotate right here. So his tail's got some articulation, not as much as I'd like. I really wish I could get more poses out of it, but the tail's fine, and you can use it as a third leg because his feet are a good size, but he's got a really small footprint because his toes don't actually touch the floor. So he likes to back over. He likes to fall back a lot, but you can use his tail to prop him up. And that was it for his articulation, and he does have quite a few accessories. First off, we're going to pop his face off. And unlike Goku, where you just got his extra face, he gets an entirely extra head. Ooh, also I forgot to mention there are black circles on the inside of the ears here. Those are stickers. And for this one, you get a sticker for the teeth, which looks great. He has this really nice manic, like, I'm gonna murder your entire species face going on. I personally prefer the calm expression, but, you know, whichever one you prefer. He also has a couple of hands. He has these splayed open, angled upward hands He's actually pretty good for a lot of different poses. My personal favorite for this is the come at me, whoops. The come at me pose that he does a lot. If I can get him to stand. There. They're also good to use with another effect part of his, where if you raise his hand up, pull the hand joint out a little bit, you have this death sphere on a little clear arm, and that just clips around the base for the ball joint like that, and you got a really nice display of him holding his hands up, charging his death ball. That's not all you get though, because you also have a right pointing finger, which can be used with the death ball if you want. And if you take the death ball off, you can actually stick the finger in there. It doesn't really hold that well, but if you're really dedicated, you can stick the ball into this finger while he's holding it up like that. But what this finger is actually for, switch his hands out, is for the death beam, which is right here, a long piece of clearness. It's got two pieces in it right here at the tip, and it looks really nice. I love the effect here. It looks great, and that just plugs into the tip of his finger, so you can shoot death beams at people. But that does weigh down his wrist joint a little bit, so you get the same stand you got from Goku, only instead of using that bit, use this bit, and that bit will clip into the death beam right there and help you hold it upright. It's pretty neat. He does have one other accessory, and that is this piece right here, which is used for the stand. And the way that works is you come back here, pull his tail out a little bit, just kind of slot that in there, push his tail back in. Now you have room for the stand, which you can plug into his butt, right here. And you can use this to help him stand, like actually stand, with his tail up in the air, which isn't too bad. That one's actually useful, unlike Goku's, to have him stand. But yeah, that's great. I love the effect parts, and I just love the look of them in general. There is one thing I'm a little disappointed in, and it's you can get a cross-armed pose, but it's not really good looking or effective. Like, that's the best that I can do for a cross-armed pose, and I really wish I could, because I want to have a display of him kicking Goku in the face. Now then, to finish off the video, we'll do a little review. Not review, this was a review. We'll do a comparison. Here he is with the figurized standard Goku, and they are very appropriate sized. They look decent. I wish Frieza could look up more, so you can get them staring down at each other. But then again, this version of Goku never met with this version of Frieza, because this Goku has all of his clothes on. Whereas when he fought Frieza in this form, most of his clothes were gone. Goku's got the looking down part fine, but Frieza needs to be able to look up more. Which is a shame. I'm sure I could modify it somehow to get that look. I'm going to go ahead and remove this. Push the tail back in. Put it back here. But they do look really nice next to each other. I think out of the two of them, I like Frieza a little bit more, just because I really love Frieza. He's one of my favorite villains from the Dragon Ball universe, and he looks really good next to Goku. Like I said in Goku's review and a little earlier on in this review, I think, the Bandai is really knocking it out of the park with these model kits right here. These are fantastic. These are amazing, and I'm preferring them over the figure arts. There is no figure arts version of Frieza that I can think of. I could be wrong, but this is a great little kit. Even if you're not into the kits and you want a Frieza to go with your figure arts, here he is next to the figure arts Goku, and still pretty decent size, even though this Goku is a little shorter than the figure art standard, but it works. It works really well. So if you have the figure arts version, Frieza is still a great pickup to go with him. But if you have the figure art standard version, then at least to me, he should be an instant buy. Anyway, that was the Lee Master bringing into view for Frieza, and I will catch you all next time.